Hello everyone, I am Sari Zulfikar. Today I am going to solve past papers of ICAT Science Contest for grade 7 and 8 year 2024. Question number 1. Study the below given flow chart carefully. Cotton and metal are represented by the letters dash and dash respectively. So 4 options are given to us. So let's read the flow chart carefully. It start. Is it natural? Yes, because we know that cotton and metal both are natural resources. Does it come from plants? Yes, because cotton comes from the plant, so we can say that cotton is represented by letter Q. Then, if we move towards no, does it come from animals? No, because a metal does not come from plants or animals. So, S is representing metal. So, we can say that cotton and metal are represented by the letters Q and S respectively. So, we'll choose option C here. Question number 2. What are the missing words in the correct order from this description of a reflex section? The first statement is a dash detects a stimulus. So the correct term is receptor. Receptors, like for example in our skin, detect changes in the environment. Second statement is a sensory neuron sends impulses to a dash neuron. So the correct term is relay. The relay neuron in the spinal cord transfers the impulse. Third statement is a motor dash sends impulses to an effector. So the correct term is neuron. Motor neurons carry impulses to the muscles or glands. The fourth statement is an effector produces a dash and response will be written over here. The effector reacts, for example, moving away from the danger. So we will choose option B here because it's representing the correct order of the missing words. Question number 3. The Forestry Commission have planted lots of trees in Scotland, often in quite wet and boggy countryside. These trees are mainly Sitka cypress, which are evergreen and are planted close together. Which of the following might explain why there are not many plants growing on the forest floor? Option A. Very little sunlight can get through all year round. Option B. The trees take up all the water. Option C. The other plants were destroyed when the land was plowed to plant the trees. Option D. The tree roots get in the way. So, the Forestry Commission has planted Sitka cypress trees in Scotland, which are evergreen, means having leaves all year round. Then they are planted close together, so it will have dense canopy, and they are grown in wet and boggy areas. So option A can be our correct option because the Sitka cypress are evergreen and densely planted. Their thick foliage blocks sunlight from reaching the forest floor. So most plants need sunlight for photosynthesis. So very few can survive in such low light conditions. So we'll choose option A here. Very little sunlight can get through all year round. So other plants cannot grow in such an environment. Question number 4. Lasers can be used for a variety of applications. Which of the following are lasers useful for? Option A cutting, option B cauterizing. Cauterizing is a medical procedure where heat, electricity, or chemicals are used to burn and seal a wound or stop bleeding. Option C is burning, option D is all of these. So here we will choose option D because lasers can be used all three purposes. Question number 5. Human beings live all over the world. This means that we must compete with plants and animals. What are we competing for? Option A animals, food only, plants, water only. Option B animals, space only, plants, food only. Option C animals, food and space, plants, water and space. Option D animals, food, water and space, plants, water and space. So human beings are competing with animals because human beings and animals both need food, water and space to survive. And plants need water and space to live. So human beings are competing with plants for these two things. So I'll choose option D here. Question number 6. Choose the answer that contains the missing words in the correct order. Convection currents in the Earth's atmosphere give rise to the wind. These are created by heat energy from the sun warming up the surface of the Earth. Wind turbines have large plates that are connected to gears linked to a generator. The kinetic energy of the wind is transferred into electrical energy. So I'll choose option C here because this is representing the correct order of the missing words for the given text. Question number 7. People get fresh water from different sources. Two of the most common sources of fresh water are surface water and groundwater. Surface water is found on the surface of earth in lakes, rivers, and streams. Groundwater is located deep underground in rock layers called aquifers. To withdraw groundwater from aquifers, people must pump it out of the ground through wells. Despite this challenge, groundwater is a more reliable source of water than surface water in some regions. For example, rivers, lakes, and other sources of surface water can dry up during a drought, but even during a drought, groundwater is often still available. Which statement correctly explains why people use groundwater as a source of fresh water? Option A. In some environments, groundwater is the most reliable source of fresh water, which is our correct option. That is mentioned in the text as well. That groundwater is a more reliable source of water than surface water in some regions. And the reason is also mentioned here that rivers, lakes, and other sources of surface water can dry up during the drought. But groundwater is often still available. But let's check the other options as well. Option B. Groundwater is located below the surface of earth, so the water is easy to withdraw, which is not correct, of course. Option C. Groundwater is easily accessible and does not require any pumping or extraction methods, which is not correct. Option D. Groundwater is less affected by pollution compared to surface water due to its underground location, which is also not correct because groundwater can be affected by the factory pollution or some other chemicals as well. So we can choose option A here. In some environments, groundwater is the most reliable source of fresh water. Question number 8. Some students carried out an experiment to investigate the rate of decay of a potato. Below are just 4 of the experiments they tried. In which one would the potato decay fastest? So option A, large pieces in a dry sealed container in warm conditions. So large pieces will decay slowly because no moisture or air is in sealed container. Option B, small pieces in an open container in warm conditions and sprayed with water each day. So these small pieces will decay the fastest because warmth, moisture and air help bacteria and fungi to grow. Option C, large pieces in a dry sealed container in a refrigerator. So these large pieces will decay very slowly because the cold slows bacteria and fungi. Option D, small pieces in a dry sealed container in a refrigerator. So it will also decay very slowly because the cold and no moisture stop bacteria. So I'll choose option B here. The small pieces in open container will decay the fastest. Question number 9. An air source that pump is an electrically powered device that recovers heat energy from the air. For every kilowatt of electrical energy used, it provides 3 kilowatts of heat energy. Some homes are heated using a heat pump. Which of the following is not an advantage of using such an appliance when compared with the alternative of using a fossil fuel powered boiler? Option A, saves money. So heat pumps use less electricity than traditional heating methods, which gradually reduce the energy cost over time. Option B, saves time. So this is our correct option because as heat pumps do not heat up as quickly as fossil fuel boilers, the traditional boilers can produce heat almost instantly, whereas heat pumps work gradually to warm a house. So now let's check the other options as well. Option C, reduces pollution, which is incorrect because unlike fossil fuel boilers, heat pumps produce less carbon emissions, making them environmental friendly. Option D is it is very efficient, which is also incorrect because heat pumps provide 3 times the heat energy for every unit of electricity used, making them more efficient than boilers. So option B, saves time, is the suitable option because that is not an advantage of the heat pump as compared to fossil fuel powered boilers. Question number 10. Which of the following figures shows the correct positions of the given celestial bodies in the solar system? So option A, C and D are incorrect because in option A, the moon is shown separately in the orbit around the sun, but the moon orbits Earth. And in option C and D, the sun is placed incorrectly. So we'll choose option B, which is the correct representation of the celestial bodies in the solar system. Question number 11. The given figure shows a lunar eclipse. In case of solar eclipse, the position of dash and dash should be interchanged. So here we can see that Sun is represented by P, Q is representing Earth, and R is representing Moon. So in a lunar eclipse, Earth comes in the center of Sun and Moon. But when it's a solar eclipse, then the places of Q and R, like Earth and Moon, will be interchanged. So we'll choose option B here. Question number 12. Ali is a contractor who is clearing a forest patch to build a sports complex in its place. Which of the following would possibly be the consequence of this activity? The first statement is some animals will become extinct, which can be correct because clearing the forest can be cause for extinction of many animals. The second statement is some possible sources of natural drugs to cure diseases will be lost. That is also correct because many medicines are created by using herbs and shrubs of these forests. So, this is correct. The third statement is the problem of global warming will reduce, which is incorrect. Definitely, it's gonna increase. The fourth statement is water table will replenish, which is incorrect. So, we'll choose option A. First and second statements are correct. Question number 13. A pollution monitoring agency plotted the change in amount of X on the earth over time as shown here. Select the most suitable option regarding this graph. Option A is if X is UV rays reaching the earth, then it indicates acid rain. Acid rain is caused by pollution like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides, not UV rays. So UV rays are related to the ozone layer, not acid rain. So option A is incorrect. Option B is if X is carbon dioxide content in the air, then it indicates increased global warming, which is correct because carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas that traps heat causing global warming. If carbon dioxide is increasing over time, global warming is also going to increase. So option C is if X is ozone content in the atmosphere, then it indicates ozone layer depletion. So if ozone was increasing, it would not indicate depletion, which means decrease. So this contradicts the graph, which shows an increase. So we can say option C is also incorrect and option D is none of these. But here we have found our correct option, that is option B. Question number 14. A pulley is a simple machine that makes our work easier by making the direction of force applied to be in the opposite direction of the force that dash. So a pulley is a simple machine that helps us lift objects by changing the direction of force. And if we pull down, the object moves up. So option A is opposes the motion of an object by acting between the surface and object, which is incorrect because this description is of friction, which is not related to pulleys. Option B is pulls any object towards Earth's core, which is our correct option because this describes gravity, which pulls objects down. A pulley helps lift objects against gravity by changing the direction of the force. Option C is exerted by magnet on an iron material, which is incorrect because this describes magnetism, which is unrelated to the pulleys. Option D is produces current in circuits, which is again incorrect because this describes electricity, not the pulleys. So we'll choose option B here. Question number 15. Two substances P and Q were used to fill a syringe. The plunger was then pushed in as shown in the diagram. Which of the following would most likely to be P and Q? So we can see that the syringe is filled with two substances P and Q. When the plunger is pushed, P is compressed while Q remains unchanged in volume. So we can say that P is a gas because gases can be compressed while liquids and solids cannot be compressed. So Q can be a liquid or a solid. So option A is P is oil and Q is salt, which is incorrect because oil does not compress and salt stays the same. Option B is P is rice and Q is oxygen, which is not right because rice does not compress and oxygen can be compressed. So option C is P is air and Q is water, which is our correct option because air can be compressed and water is a liquid, so it remains unchanged. So we'll choose option C here as our correct option. Question number 16. Take a glass and fill it with water up to the brim. Make sure there are no air bubbles. Take a thick, stiff piece of cardboard and place it over the glass. Hold the glass with one hand and place your other hand over the cardboard and quickly turn the glass upside down. Now, slowly remove your hand from the cardboard. What will happen in the given activity if a fast air is blown below the cardboard? Option A is the cardboard will fall off, which is incorrect because the pressure difference will hold it in the place even more. Option B is the cardboard will be harder to remove from the glass, which is our correct option because the lower air pressure below increases the hold. Option C is the cardboard will bend into the glass, which is incorrect because cardboard is stiff and air pressure alone won't bend it significantly. Option D is none of these. So here we will choose option B as our correct option. Question number 17. Raza filled a bottle with water and placed in the freezer. What he saw after a few hours is shown in the figure given here. What does it show? Option A, freezing decreases mass of water. Option B, freezing compresses water. Option C, freezing increases volume of water. Option D, freezing increases mass of water. So we'll choose option C here. Freezing increases the volume of the water. The reason is when water freezes, it expands because ice has a more open molecular structure than liquid water. This is why a bottle filled to the top with water can burst when frozen, and the mass remains the same, but the volume increases because ice takes up more space than liquid water. So freezing increases the volume of water but does not change its mass. Question number 18. Asma conducted an experiment as shown below by using different materials. Asma pulled on the spring balance until the material was separated from the magnet. The readings on the spring balance were recorded as shown in the table below. So this experiment investigates the strength of the magnetic attraction between a magnet and different materials. The readings on the spring balance indicate the force required to separate each material from the magnet. So the key observations are that soft iron, which is 82 grams, required the most force to separate, meaning it has the strongest magnetic attraction. Steel, that is 68 grams, also showed strong magnetic attraction but less than soft iron. Then cobalt and nickel required less force, meaning their magnetic attractions were weaker in comparison. So now, what conclusions could Asma make from her experiment? The first statement is soft iron needs the largest force in order to be separated from a magnet, which is correct. Second statement is nickel is most easily magnetized while soft iron is least easily magnetized. So no such information is given in the text. So it's not correct. The third statement is nickel and cobalt are non-magnetic materials, which is incorrect because their magnetic attractions are weaker than soft iron and steel, but it does not mean that they are non-magnetic materials. It's incorrect. The fourth statement is steel makes the strongest permanent magnet, which is also incorrect. So I'll choose option A, one only. Question number 19. A plane mirror is positioned at the corner of a road as shown in the given figure. Which man or men can the observer X see through the mirror? Option A, 2 only. Option B, 1 only. Option C, 1 and 2 only. Option D, 2 and 3 only. So let's do the analysis of the diagram. The mirror is placed at the corner, allowing the observer X to see round the corner. The reflected image of men 2 and 3 will be visible in the mirror because they are positioned in a way that allows light to reflect into X's line of sight. Man 1 is located too far from the reflection path and cannot be seen by X. So we can choose option D. The observer X can see 2 and 3 only. Question number 20. On shone a torchlight at a bunch of grapes as shown here. What can on do to enlarge the shadow of the bunch of grapes on the screen? The first statement is shift the grapes nearer to the torchlight, which is correct because when we move the grapes closer to the torchlight, the size of the shadow will increase. The second statement is shift the screen away from the grapes. That is also another way to increase the size of the shadow. So, statement 2 is also correct. The third statement is shift the screen closer to the grapes. So if we do that, then the size of the shadow will be equal to the size of the grapes. So it's not correct. The fourth statement is shift the torchlight further away from the grapes. So if we will do that, the size of the shadow will decrease. So we'll choose option B here. Only first and second statements are correct. Question number 21, Zara puts two different objects in each of the following containers. Container 1, copper coin and iron nail. Container 2, steel nail and aluminium earring. Container 3, marble and gold coin. Container 4, nickel coin and steel nail. She can use a magnet to separate the objects in containers dash. So 4 options are given to us. So in container 1, we have copper coin and iron nail. Copper is a non-magnetic material, but iron nail is a magnetic material. So we can use a magnet to separate these materials. In container 2, we have steel nail and aluminium earring. Here, steel nail is a magnetic material, but aluminium earring is non-magnetic material. So we can again use a magnet to separate these two materials. In container 3, we have marble, which is a non-magnetic material, and a gold coin, which is again a non-magnetic material. So we cannot use a magnet to separate these two materials. In container 4, we have nickel coin and steel nail. Both are magnetic materials, so both will get attracted toward the magnet. So we can't use magnet for the purpose of separation of these two materials. So I'll choose option A. We can separate the materials in container 1 and container 2 using the magnets. Question number 22, which of the following diagrams best depicts the situation when two long iron rods are placed at the ends of a very short bar magnet? So when we place two iron rods at the ends of a small bar magnet, the magnet makes the rods act like small magnets too. The ends of the rods near the magnet get opposite charges and attract each other. This means the rods will lean inward towards each other. So the diagram that shows this correctly is option B. Question number 23, a wooden rod is attached to a wooden disc to form a support structure as shown in figure P, and then three metal rings X, Y, and Z are placed above the wooden disc as shown in figure Q. Which of the following conditions can be true regarding the given setup? So option A is rings X and Y are both magnets with their opposite poles facing each other, which can be true because in that case they will be attracted towards each other. So option A can be our correct option. Option B, both Y and Z are magnets while X is a magnetic material. And option C is rings Y and Z are both magnets with their similar poles facing each other. So these two options are interlinked. Like if Y and Z both magnets are facing the same pole, so they will repel and create a gap in the center. Whereas if X is a magnetic material, so it will simply get attracted towards the Y, which is a magnet. So since all three conditions can be valid in different scenarios, so we'll choose option D here. All of these are correct. Question number 24, a circuit diagram is shown here. Which of the switches must be closed so that only bulb 2 lights up? So here, if we close switch P, it will allow the electricity to flow from the battery. And if we close the switch T, this connects the entire circuit to the negative terminal of the battery. If we close the switch R, it completes the circuit for bulb 2, which will allow it to light up. So we have to keep switches Q and S open. This ensures that bulbs 1 and 3 remain off. So here we'll choose option A. We have to close switch P, R, and T only to light up the bulb 2. Question number 25, three glasses containing water at the same temperature are placed side by side touching each other as shown in the given figure. Given that glass 1 contains 0.3 kg of water, glass 2 contains 0.5 kg of water, and glass 3 contains 0.1 kg of water. Which of the following statements is true? Option A, heat flows from glass 1 to glass 2 and from glass 2 to glass 3. Option B, heat flows from glass 2 to glass 1 and from glass 2 to glass 3. Option C, heat flows from glass 1 to glass 2 and from glass 3 to glass 2. And the last option is heat does not flow among these three glasses. So, as all three glasses contain water at the same temperature, which is 50 degrees Celsius, heat transfer only occurs if there is a temperature difference. Since all glasses are at the same temperature and there is no temperature difference, meaning no heat flow occurs. So we'll choose option D here. Heat does not flow among these three glasses. Question number 26. The given diagram shows a ball released from the top of the smooth ramp, which reaches a flat and smooth horizontal surface connected to the ramp. Which of the following speed time graphs best represents the motion of this ball? So, four graphs are given to us. So, when the ball is released from the top of the smooth ramp, the speed will increase in the start. And when it will reach to the flat and smooth horizontal surface, then the speed will remain same or it will decrease. So that is represented by the graph that which is given in option B. So we will select it as our correct option. Question number 27, read the given statements and select the correct option. Statement 1, the level of groundwater below the surface of the earth at a given place is known as water table. Statement 2 is extensive use of groundwater in cities for domestic and industrial purposes is resulting in lowering of water table. Statement 1 is true because the water table is the upper level of groundwater that exists beneath the earth's surface. And the second statement is also true because overuse of groundwater decreases the underground reservoirs, causing the water table to drop. So here, let's read the options. Option A, both statements 1 and 2 are true. Statement 2 is correct explanation of statement 1. So which is not correct because statement 1 defines what is a water table, while statement 2 explains the cause of depletion. So while both are true, statement 2 does not serve as an explanation for statement 1. Option B, both statement 1 and 2 are true, but statement 2 is not the correct explanation of statement 1, which is correct. Option C, statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Option D, both statements 1 and 2 are false. So we'll select option B here. Question number 28, Farheen soaked some bean seeds in water overnight. Next morning, she drained the water and kept the seeds moist till they started germinating. She boiled half of the seeds and then kept the germinating seeds in one thermos flask X and the boiled seeds in another thermos flask Y. She covered the mouth of both flasks with moist cotton wool. Then she inserted thermometers in both flasks and left them. What would be her observation after 4 hours? So let's analyze the experiment. What is happening in flask X with the germinating seeds? As germinating seeds are alive and undergo cellular respiration, so it will release energy in the form of heat. This heat causes an increase in temperature inside flask X. And now let's discuss the flask Y, which is with boiled seeds. The boiled seeds are dead because boiling destroyed their cells and enzymes. So since they are not respiring, no heat is generated, so the temperature does not increase. Now let's check our options. Option A is temperature of flask X increases because it has photosynthesizing seeds, which is incorrect because seeds do not photosynthesize, they respire instead. Option B, temperature of flask X increases because it has respiring seeds, which is correct because heat is produced due to respiration. So the temperature in flask X will increase. Option C, temperature of flask Y increases because it has boiled seeds, which is incorrect because boiled seeds are dead and cannot respire to generate heat. So option D is both B and C, which is also incorrect. So we'll choose option B here. Question number 29, refer to the given food web operating in a community. Large amount of insecticides was sprayed in this community. Which of the following graphs correctly depicts the changes in number of mice, caterpillars, and sparrow hawks over time? So a key is given to us. A straight line is representing mice. Then there are two dotted lines which are representing caterpillar and sparrowhawks. So let's discuss the effects of insecticides on caterpillars, sparrowhawks, and mice. So the insecticides directly affects insects, which includes caterpillars. Since caterpillars die due to the insecticides, their population will decrease. So as sparrow feed on caterpillars, if caterpillar numbers decrease, sparrow numbers will also decrease due to the lack of food. And sparrowhawks feed on sparrows. If sparrows decrease, then sparrowhawks will have less food, leading to a decline in sparrowhawk numbers as well. So let's discuss the effects of insecticides on mice. As mice are not directly affected by the insecticides because they are not dependent on insects for food. With fewer sparrowhawks, which are their predators, mice population will increase definitely. So the caterpillar population should decrease sharply after the insecticide is applied. So we can see this dotted line is representing caterpillar and it is dropping in option D. Then sparrowhawk population should gradually decline because their food chain is indirectly affected. So that is also shown in the graph given in option D. After that, mice population should increase as their predators, which are sparrowhawks, decrease. So there, the line that is representing mice is increasing in this graph. So we'll choose option D, which is representing the correct change in number of mice, caterpillars, and sparrowhawks over time. Question number 30 refer to the given flowchart. So the flowchart directs to P if a plant part is edible root, for example, carrot, turnip, and radish. And the flowchart directs to Q if the plant part has edible seeds, for example, clove, cumin, wheat, and mustard. If the edible part is a stem and grows underground, it is classified as R, for example, ginger, onion, garlic. And if the plant part is edible stem but does not grow underground, it is classified as S. For example, sugarcane. So select the correct statement regarding P and S. Option A is P could be potato, whereas Q could be clove, which is not correct because potato is a stem tuber, not a root. Option B is S could be sugarcane, whereas R could be ginger, which is the correct option because sugarcane is an above ground edible stem and ginger is an underground edible stem. Option C is P could be garlic, whereas S could be cocoa. So that is not correct because garlic is a bulb, not a root. Option D is R could be turnip, whereas Q could be cumin, which is incorrect because turnip is a root, not a stem. So here we'll choose option B as our correct answer. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe the channel.